Good afternoon and welcome to My Chamber TV. This is the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce edition. You look so good. You're sitting up straight like Mama's very happy.
Yeah.
I'm here with Gerald Jacobs from the Upper Tampa Bay, with the Upper Tampa Bay Education Foundation.
You've done good.
That's a lot.
Hey, we shortened it. It used to be worse.
Oh my gosh. So actually, what does the Upper Tampa Bay Education Foundation do before we get into the whole interview type of thing?
We do two things.
Okay.
We give scholarships to high school seniors
Oh, okay.
in the Upper Tampa Bay area. And the other thing we do is we actually give cash grants to elementary schools in this area as
Really?
well. And it's interesting, they can spend it on anything they want. There's no strings attached, which is unusual because every bit of the funding that comes into these schools from outside sources all have strings attached. They're very, very specific.
You got to do this. You got to do this. If you don't do this, and then you can miss it by that much.
Yeah,
which is sad.
Yeah,
Really
it's a mess, and they're underfunded. Here we are, the richest country in the world, and our schools are underfunded when it comes to things like copy paper and paper towels.
Which is
insane.
ridiculous. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now you were one of the original board members, right? By 2006.
Yep, I am. We were started by the board of directors of the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, but we are a separate 501c3 charitable organization, and we received our initial bequest from an anonymous Oldsmar citizen that donated.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice. Donated to our organization with the caveat that we matched the funds. So our early years were more of a fundraising organization than anything else, which was tough because we were brand new and we're going to go out and try to raise funds.
Right,
So it was interesting.
So the foundation's been around for like a little over 15 years, right?
Yeah, 15
I bet
years.
you've seen a lot of stuff in your time.
I don't even know where to start. One of the interesting things about any nonprofit is there's generally a small core group that has to do everything.
Yes.
There's also turnover, which means you've got to reinvent the wheel every other year as your board turns over and you get new people coming in. So yeah, there's a ton of changes, and just going from being a fundraising organization to actually doing our mission was, believe it or not, was challenging. We even had problems in elementary schools that thought we were up to something.
Oh yeah, it's too good to be true, right?
Yeah,
too good to be true.
Giving away money, and they ran from us like we were a bill collector.
Yeah. They didn't see the bigger picture.
No.
And it's sometimes simple scares people because it's just too easy.
And simple is my middle name.
Well, if you don't keep it simple, it is. So what? Okay, I know you kind of explained, but what is the main mission or your main goal?
Our main goal is to, it's like our mission statement is to enhance the education, community, and career opportunities for students in the Upper Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
So we're helping kids to become productive citizens.
Right.
And that's the main goal. We need more of that. We also want them to stay within the area. We don't want them moving out of state for 25 or 30 years and then coming back here realizing how good they had it.
Right.
We'd like to keep them here.
So I know this is not on our question. How do you find the kids that you're going to help?
It's interesting. When we first started out, we didn't know anything. And we would go to the high schools and talk with the assistant principals and the guidance counselors, and we say, hey, we want to give a scholarship to some of your seniors. And they were either so overworked that they paid us little attention, or they were indifferent. Believe it or not, they could be indifferent. And we finally figured out that by partnering with the bigger education foundations, Hillsborough Education Foundation and Pinellas Education Foundation, that they already had mechanism in place to vet students that wanted these scholarships. And they asked us, just give us a set of criteria that you would like us to use.
That they have to meet.
Yeah, that they have to meet, and we'll send you tell us also how many. And we said, send us 30 from each county.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we found out in a hurry that 30 was a bit much to sort of filter through, but we found it was an effective system, and we still use it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I hear through the grapevine that you got you had a big fundraiser coming up in September.
We do. It's this is the first time we've done this. This is called Eat for Education, and what we're doing is we're going to different restaurants in the areas here, and they are going to donate a portion of their proceeds on September 27th to the Education Foundation. There it is on the screen right now, Eat for Education. And we're looking for 1 or 2 more restaurants to help us in order to be able to raise enough money to give those scholarships away and to give money away to the elementary schools.
So does that mean if I go to the restaurant, is there a special menu, or is they just going to do a proceeds of each dinner?
Just the proceeds of each.
Awesome.
And the biggest part for us is we have to do a lot of marketing for this. We're actually going to be marketing through the schools to get the PTAs on board, get the parents on board, and to get the kids to talking about it, to get mom and dad to take them out, which is now going to be even a bigger challenge when you see what's happening to the prices in restaurants.
Is that crazy?
It's insane. You know, I mean, a sandwich is $18. Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it's unfortunately not as attractive this year as it has been in the past.
Now, will there be a list on the website of the restaurants that are going to be involved?
Yes, and that's going to be at utbef.org. And that's as short as we could make it.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. Sometimes acronyms are just, the letters is all you really need.
Yeah.
So, now, do you know how many restaurants right now at this point in time?
I don't.
Okay.
You
need more though, right?
Oh, we always need more, but I am the chair of the board.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is because I delegate. I am not on the marketing committee. And I do not micromanage. These board members that we have are great people. They do a good job of what they do. They don't need me to be meddling in every little thing. I just wait for the results and give them an attaboy and an attagirl and go on from there.
That is awesome. So now when does this start? In September?
September 27th.
Okay.
It's a Tuesday night, which is a slow night for restaurants. That's one of the reasons that we picked it. We want
to help push people into there. Absolutely.
We want to be a win-win for us as well as for the restaurants, because they got a quiet night. Maybe we can bring them in a whole lot more business on that night and bring in people that may have never been to their restaurant to see some new business. Nobody minds that.
That's a great idea. What a great idea.
Yeah.
So how do we find out more about what's going on, with the foundation, and more about is the website the best way to go?
Website is absolutely the best way to go. We work really hard at keeping it updated. And if you go to it anytime, you'll see the things we've done in the past, the things we're doing right now, and the things that we hope to do in the future. And utbef.org. Now, the funds we're going to raise is used to support our Community All-Stars program, and that's where we give away money to the elementary schools.
That's what I was going to say. What is the All-Star
program?
program?
The All-Star program, we look for sponsors. In fact, a number of businesses in this area sponsor an elementary school, and they are the Community All-Star.
Okay.
And their money goes to the school, and they have adopted that school and get involved with the staff of the school.
Okay. Now, when you say adopt, do they give money? Do they bring supplies? How does someone adopt a school, and what's involved there?
Call us, email us, text me, however you want to get a hold of me. And we're looking for school sponsors all the time. And it's painless and it's a lot of fun. Okay, we give the schools money. Okay. If you try to buy stuff for them, you're second guessing what their real needs are.
Right.
And they may have other pressing needs. I mean, we've had some schools use this money. They use it for so diverse of things. One elementary school set up a raised bed, French intensive organic garden.
What a great idea. Teach them farming. That's awesome.
Actually, what it taught them was responsibility and consequences.
Right.
As if they didn't go out there and weed them and water the veggies and fertilize them, they died.
Yeah.
So they learned responsibility and they learned consequences.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson. That's a really good lesson.
Yeah.
Gerald, thank you for being on today. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
Hey, everybody, you stick around because we got
Don't
more
go anywhere.
great guests coming. I'm just saying right now. Doug did a good job. He's got a lot of good guests. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, welcome back to My Chamber TV. This is the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce edition this week. I am here with Nathan Bays from Kids Park.
Hello, how are you?
So, what is Kids Park? Here, see, when Doug first told me about it, they have this indoor playground. Well, kinda, in a way. So what is Kids Park?
Well, Kids Park is a non-traditional childcare facility. And what I mean by that is we are open hourly. So we are open nights and weekends. And so it makes it possible for a parent to drop off their child. And it's not within the normal time periods as a regular typical daycare center.
Okay, so I was going to say, so it is a daycare, but it's not like, oh, you got to be here at 7 a.m. You got to pick your kid up at 5 p.m. and wait in the line.
No, basically you pay as you go.
Okay.
You can keep your child there as little as you want or as long as you want. Our hours are from 8 to 8 during the week and 8 to 11 o'clock at night on Fridays and on Saturdays.
And Saturdays.
Yes.
So in a way, you can be used like, well, me and Mama need a date night.
Exactly.
And please take little Johnny.
Exactly.
So we can go on. That is awesome.
We are utilized for date nights. We're utilized for if mom and dad or if mom or dad have a doctor's appointment.
Okay.
And then we've pretty much been sequestered for 2 years. And so a lot of people are still working from home.
Right.
So in this way, they don't necessarily need childcare all the time, but this makes it so that they can, when they do need to have a Zoom call with their boss or anything like that, they can spend a couple of hours with us.
So now, but does Kids Park actually act like, so if I need a daycare, like a daily daycare?
Yes.
You guys, now is that a different pricing structure or because I'm there every single day?
Same pricing. We do have a weekly rate.
Right.
We are a fully licensed childcare facility. Actually the only fully licensed drop-in childcare facility in Pinellas County.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so we're fully accredited with our building, with our staff, and with our health. And so basically, you can use us as a school or a daycare, or you can just use us, just come in and drop off your child whenever you need to be.
What's the ages?
Our ages are from 2 to 12.
Okay.
So basically, to tell you a little bit about our facility, kind of like what our facility's like with our ages. As soon as you walk in, we have what's called a Blue Crew, which is from 6 to 12, which are age-appropriate games and toys for kids that age. We have an activity area. We have a theater and a creation station where they're doing projects and games.
Yeah, okay.
So they're always doing something, and it's educational. You know,
it's not just here's a tablet, good luck, have something to do.
Right, and it's not there are places that are bouncy homes where they go out and they'll sit and they'll just bounce up and down the activity zone. With us, you have a teacher there, and we're there doing different crafts, different activities. They're learning, they're doing things while the parents are out doing what they need to do.
That is now. Is food included, or I got to bring my own food, or
food is a fee, but parents are always welcome to bring whatever it is that they want to bring. We have lunch at noon and we have dinner at 6. So, and then we have snacks in between. So it depends on, everyone has a different way of what they want for their child, or if they have a particular nutritional thing that they want for their child, they're more than welcome to do that.
Okay. All
Yep.
right. Now, let's say I'm bringing my child in, and I've got a 4-year-old and I've got an 8-year-old. They're not in the same room with each other, are they? They're probably separated type.
They can be. The 8-year-old might want to join the other kids his or her age and play with them. The 4-year-old is obviously going to be out where we have other 4-year-olds or five and under, but we only go down to 2. But there are going to be times where they're together. And we have found that a lot of the times the older kids like to be with the younger kids to help them out doing projects. So being a little teachers, little helpers to do different things. Like I said, we do different crafts and activities, which makes it easier for our staff when some of our younger kiddos are helping our little younger kiddos do different things.
That's cool. Oh,
Yep.
I mean, why not? Let them help the little ones, and then that kind of just instills the help everybody.
Of course,
and
of course.
As you get on in life.
Of course.
So if I'm a parent at home watching this, going, "Oh, that's a great idea. Well, what do I need to do to get started?" I mean,
well, one of the best things to do with Kids Park is to go online, kidspark.com/Oldsmar, and then what you can do on there is you can find out a lot of things that we're doing and a lot of things that we will be doing and a lot of activities that are going to be going on. And you can also go on there and you can register online, and there's also some Pinellas forms that you would have to fill out too. But it's really easy, and once you're in our system, you just drop off, tell us your name, and you're pretty much good to go.
So you said earlier, you used the words fully licensed.
Yes.
Okay, so explain to me what fully licensed means.
Well, there are places that are not fully licensed, and places that are not fully licensed require that a parent stays on the premises.
Oh, okay.
We are fully licensed, meaning that we are just like any other daycare center, and where we have to get special accreditation in order for us to have the school there, to have people that are staff that can watch children, and to be able to, because all of our staff members are background checked,
right.
And to make it so that they can leave it there and the parents can go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Pinellas County has rules and regulations for bouncy house type of places and childcare facility type of places. So we're just like any other daycare center, fully licensed.
So I just got to go back to the date night thing. That is absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
well, you know what? I always tell this example. I had a father come in the other day. He has 3 kids, and he says, "You know what? You guys have been amazing. I can date my wife again. I haven't been able to date my wife again.
Wow.
And now I can do that. I can bring in my 3 kids, and in our facility, we're actually, we're right by a movie theater. So movie theater, and we have 4 restaurants within our little mall there. And in there, so basically you can drop your child off and you can have date night. You can look to see how your child is doing and walk in. Because we have a lot of parents that say, "Oh, you know what? I never drop my kid off anywhere." And this is the best way that we have found to acclimate them into a child care type of way. Because this way they can drop them in maybe just for an hour. Test this out. See how it is. See how their child does. They can have dinner or go to a movie and come look in, see if how their child's doing, and try us out again.
so do you want to see shot records and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. Actually, we do not need any shot records over any child over the age of 6.
Okay.
Because the schools keep all those shot records.
Right.
So if a child is within the age of 2 2 to 5, we do need chocolate. They're called health records.
Health records.
Yeah, health records, and they will have that. And most parents know what those records are because if they've ever gone to get a physical for their child, they know that those are the records that the doctors keep on file for them.
Gee, okay.
Yep.
I was gonna say, you need to make sure they had their rabies shot, that kind of stuff. I've got 3. I've dealt with all this before.
Right, exactly,
So I get
exactly.
it. No, he's never bitten anybody.
Right.
He has shots. It's all good.
Right.
So where are you located? Let's tell everybody right where you're at.
Okay, we're at 3130 Tampa Road, and that's in Oldsmar, Florida. We're right next to the AMC Theater, and there's an Earth Fair in there. There is Craft Street in there. We have all different other types of restaurants in there, and they're also building another restaurant right there. So basically, we're centrally located for any entertainment and anything that's going on with in this community and around our community.
Right.
Obviously, we're not just in this community that we're North Pinellas. We get kids from everywhere, from Tampa. Wow. From down in Largo, so they come because we have a service that some people do that most facilities do not have.
I've had, like I said, I've had 3 kids and did daycare my whole life. So
right.
Every one of my children came up in it. I've never heard of anywhere I could go and just drop off for a couple hours going, here you go, going on a date. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Exactly. Which makes it a little different than a babysitter, because a babysitter, they're bringing them to the home and they're not, they don't have that, they're not socially being able to talk to or play with other kids.
Right, exactly.
So this way they can play with other kids and do games and actually learn as well.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
Thank you for, where were you 20 years ago?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well, we're here now. So
we're here now, so
matter.
this is me. All right, we'll be
Yes.
right back after these messages. We really appreciate it because we got some more great guests coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back to My Chamber TV. This is the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. We have a returning guest, and my kids keep threatening to put me in there. No. Here's Bradley Purazzo. He's with Aston Gardens and the Discovery Villages.
Yes, sir.
That's new.
Yeah, so it's sort of new. It's one of our newer properties that we took over in 2019. We had our grand opening, primarily to provide assisted living and memory care services for our residents in the West Chase area. So Aspen Gardens, as a lot of you all know, is our very large independent living. It's a massive campus.
Beautiful place.
Thank you.
Every time we've been over there, my kids have threatened to leave me. I'm like, no.
Well, you're gonna get fed well. You're gonna
Well,
get good
that is
care.
true.
No.
That is true. I love every time we shoot there. We're always put in that one room, and everyone's, everything's fine. And then the little ladies show up that do their sewing circle, and they want us out now.
Now, and the same thing's going to happen at Discovery Villages because they're going to be banging on the door wanting to play bingo. Exactly. But no, so the whole purpose and the design behind the community was to give another location for when our residents in independent living may need more services
right.
and more nursing supervision, to have a place to go within the Discovery family.
Right.
So we opened in 2019 and are actually at this current moment running at a full capacity.
Wow.
Yeah.
People just really like it.
It's a great, it's because of it's because of how people feel about Aston Gardens. That same reputation follows at the Discovery Village property.
So when you say assisted, so I mean, do you get into full care, or do you get into just to the point where they need full care, then gotta go somewhere else?
It's a great question. So the type of services that we're providing are what we call ADLs, so activities of daily living. That's supporting seniors who need assistance with showers, getting dressed in the morning, just mobility concerns. That is what our main focus is on. Okay. We are not able to provide skilled care. So that's your fine line between an assisted living and a nursing home.
Right.
Our residents are still very active, still very, in assisted living, still have good cognitive function. So we're really just there to fill in the gaps.
Right.
We want our residents to, even though it is assisted living, we want our residents to be as independent as possible.
Right. Not a place for Alzheimer's and that kind of world.
Well, yes, but we do actually have that supportive environment on campus as well.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So then we were actually just recognized by U.S. News as one of the best memory cares in the state of Florida.
Wow.
So we're very proud to have that badge of honor. But we do have a little bit smaller. It's about 38 residents, 38 apartments, and is going to be our Shine Memory Care. Mm-hmm. So that is where we're providing a little bit more supportive services for our residents that are in mid to late stage Alzheimer's.
Right.
Now, they may not need a skilled care need, which is why they're living with us, but they just need that prompting and hand-holding to go through from morning to night. And so that's our job, is to make sure that we're bringing life back to our residents who have had taken away from a disease.
No, I tell you, every time we come over, and I joke, my kids will say they won't leave me there. They will. I'm just worried about that. But we get to talk to them, right? Mm-hmm. While we're waiting, we're setting up, and I get to, and man, I had one gentleman in there. Man, he was sharp. I mean, sometimes they make fun of us old guys, like you guys can't remember, but man, this brother, he knew his life. And he was proud to tell us about it. He would think he was a veteran and the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, I said, so I asked him, I said, so you happy here? He goes, best place I've ever been in my life.
That's amazing.
And he goes, I don't ever want to leave.
Yeah. And that's what it's a fulfilling job, because we're seeing and I'm meeting some of the most interesting people in the world that I get a chance to. I moved in World War II veterans. I worked with a gentleman who was a prison guard during the Nuremberg trials. I mean, history lives in our communities,
right?
And that's when I'm sitting and meeting these families for the first time. Those are the questions that we're asking. We want to learn about these individuals' lives, because that's what makes them an individual, right? While it's not our discovery philosophy is not to provide cookie cutter service and cookie cutter care. We have to individualize for each person and provide that individualized care. So that's my job as one of the directors in the sales team, is to really learn about what makes you and how we can bring that life back in one of our communities. So that's really that, like you're talking about, hearing those stories of why, and people saying that they love living here. That's what makes it worth it. Because I will tell you, especially with assisted living, I've been working in senior communities for 8 years. I have never had one person say, I can't wait to move into assisted living.
Right.
It's never
not what we say.
No. And I never planned for it. It's like, we always know that's the circle of life, and that's something that we were born, we get old, and then we need support as we age, and no one ever wants to believe that's their time. But that's our goal, was when that time is there, to make them feel comfortable and happy and enjoy the remaining years.
Right.
So
it must be, and it's not any of my notes, but it must be really hard not to get super attached.
Yes. Yeah, especially there's favorites. I mean, I wouldn't lie to you when I say there's some residents who I will always remember. A lady not at my current community, but Phyllis, who had no family. She was assigned a guardian. Her husband had passed many years, and she was on her own, had no children, nothing, and that we were her family. She would sit in my office every single day for 3 hours, 4 hours, and listen to me make phone calls and critique me on my calls if I took too long, if I went too fast, if I didn't say the right things, and Phyllis was, in a sense, I was her best friend, and and mine as well. I mean, we hung out every single day, and as she got older and I got to watch her aging process, she moved into our memory care, and she needed a little bit more of that support. And eventually she couldn't remember who I was, but at the end of the day, it was still...
you knew who she was.
Exactly. And I knew what would make her smile, and that's what made a difference.
Well, so we got a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about some of the activities that
Yeah.
goes on, especially at Aspen's. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's really about between Aspen and Discovery Villages of West Chase. We're really providing a calendar from the morning right after breakfast all the way until right before dinner for our residents to have a fun day. And we're not just doing your cookie cutter bingo. But of course.
Who doesn't love bingo? I'm just saying, I love bingo.
It's got to be on the calendar. But Discovery puts a huge emphasis on exercise and activity, making sure that we're opening those mornings with either yoga or Tai Chi or physical therapy, getting our residents out of their apartments, getting them moving, and getting them active, because that's what's going to increase their longevity. But we're always providing outdoor activities as well to bring residents to restaurants, take them shopping, go to the Tampa Bay Downs, gamble some money away on the horses. So we try to make it a fun-filled day no matter what. I never want a resident to say I'm bored.
Right.
So we take a lot of pride in providing that service.
That's awesome. Now, where are you guys located?
So Discovery Village is located right on Countryway Boulevard, right across from the Tampa Bay, the West Chase Library.
Okay.
We're right next to where the new Citrus Park Drive extension is, right across the street from there. And then Aston Gardens is off of Linebaugh Avenue, right on the corner of Linebaugh and Racetrack Road.
Okay, so if I'm watching this and I know I've got a parent or me, not me per se, but someone, that sounds like a really great idea. How do we get started with you guys?
Yeah, so I would just recommend giving us a phone call. You can always look us up on our website, either at www.discoveryvillages.com. Even if you don't have a loved one in the Tampa Bay area, our company has over 120 properties across the country, mostly in Florida and Texas, but we try to be one of the bigger providers in the country for seniors. But just give us a call, go on our website, and you'll be able to either talk to myself, or I have a team of about 4 salespeople. Dexter at my West Chase location, and then Dominique and Robin and Courtney at my Aston Gardens location.
Okay, that's awesome. And so right now you're kind of full though, right?
Yes, sir. So the good news is at Aston Gardens we are sold out until September. We do have some vacancies that are slowly coming, but we have a wait list of around 20 people at Aston. At West Chase, we are running at full occupancy as well. But our wait list, we are always have openings here and there at the community. So even if you are in need, we're here to help. And if someone has an immediate need for their loved one, if we're not the right fit, we'll help. We always want to help find the best place.
Thank you for coming on again, man.
Course,
That was awesome.
yeah.
I saw them like, that name sounds real. And then I saw the Aston Garden. I'm like, oh, my kids are already going to start threatening.
Exactly.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Hey, stick around. We got more people coming up. I tell you, Doug knocked it out of the park with the guest this week. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around with us. I've got Sam McKeown here, alive and at peace coaching. I feel at peace sitting next to you.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So what is
that's what we try to do.
what is alive at peace coaching?
So we are multifaceted when it comes to our business. We teach a lot about, we use Think and Grow Rich. We use some personal business financial coaching from Dave Ramsey. I teach a diversity, equity, and inclusion program. That's a SHRM certified program, some sales master training and things like that. So we're pretty diversified in the courses that we teach. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, a fair amount of group coaching, and some seminars on a regular basis. So
Okay. So what is the Think and Rich? Was it Think and Grow Rich?
Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, probably the mother of all self-help books. You know, Napoleon Hill wrote this in the 30s, and when you read it, you can see some of the 30s style writing, right? But he interviewed a ton of people, from the steel magnates to Ford, all these guys who made millions, and basically didn't have it handed to him.
Right.
So he wrote some principles about what it takes to have the right mindset. And it's not necessarily about getting rich as it is to having the right mindset for life.
Got it.
And a lot of folks, I'm a pastor, and so I have some pastor friends who said, I had one pastor tell me, take that out of your library at the church. That's a secular book that has no place in the church. And I thought, you know what? You're wrong, but you're also my boss. So I took it out of the library, right?
Right.
So you have to listen. But Napoleon Hill goes into just about every aspect of life. He talks about desire. He talks about procrastination. He talks about all these things that are very relevant to everybody's everyday life.
Okay.
And we also base it around our faith. We are a faith-based company, and we base all the teaching around that. Doesn't matter what we teach on. And the mastermind groups and the one-on-one coaching with Napoleon Hill is probably my number one program, just because it gives people a good, solid foundation for their businesses, for personal life, and for their spiritual life.
Okay. Now you also do the personal and business financial
coaching. I am a Dave Ramsey certified coach, a Ramsey preferred coach is what they call us now. And I've been doing this for a number of years. Before we moved down here in 2017 from Wyoming, I started it up in Wyoming, and I follow Dave's principles. A lot of what Dave teaches is real relevant right now. You know, the one thing that has not changed is the numbers. So one of the things that we do know is 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck. And when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you have financial stress. The number one cause for divorce in the United States is finances. And it's a thing that a lot of folks can't get past.
Right.
And so we coach on how to properly budget to begin with. Most people don't have an income problem. They've got an outflow problem.
Right.
You know, they don't know where their money's going. You sit down with a person in the first month and take a look at their checking account. Most of them sit with electronic banking. Most of them haven't balanced a checkbook in years.
Right.
Well, I just do it all online and this must be right. Well, I got news for you. The banks make mistakes. I worked for a business one time. We did just a really small deposit. I can't even remember why we did it. It was a $600 deposit, right? And the receipt came back $6,000. Yeah, and so boss and I looked at each other and said, no, there's some integrity here.
Right.
So and the bank will tell you we don't make mistakes.
Right.
Well, here you go, guys. Anyway,
that rarely happens that it's in your favor like that.
Rarely.
Right.
But we'll do with businesses and personals. We're total financial review. We look at people's insurance. We, most people haven't checked their car insurance rates in years. Now, I deal with Joe down there.
I got the best deal in the world.
Right. But you haven't checked your rates in 5 years. And I don't encourage people to just bounce on insurance companies, but at least once a year you have to check your rates. And if the rates are within line, and you like your agent, and always have an agent, going online doing it, it's just not good. You don't have anybody to talk to. You have nobody to talk to. And then a lot of folks, well, I have to plan for retirement. Yeah, you do, but you got to get out of debt first. You can't sustain your retirement giving when you have debt. I know a lot of folks who, when they're in their early 20s, I took out this life insurance policy and I'm doing really well. And then the first thing that goes away when you get in financial trouble is the insurance policies.
Yep.
So they have no life insurance. And most people don't have enough life insurance. Right. So we review things like that. And I do this on mainly one-on-one coaching, but I have done for businesses. I've done lunch and learns and some group coaching and help them there. So.
All right. So, and you mentioned something about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh, this is my favorite program. It is in 21, the number one topic in the top 40 companies in the States was diversity, equity, and inclusion. Companies don't get it. And when you go and talk to somebody about DEI, you're going to be one of 5 ways. You're either going to be a pioneer, you're going to be the person that's going to look for the best program so that your people are taken care of, and you're going to take care of your people. You're going to be what we call a champion. You're going to support the guy who's in charge and support the guy that's running the program, or you're going to be an influencer, and then you're going to be the person that's going to talk to the rank and file and say, hey, this is a good program, or you're going to be one of the 2 bottom categories, and that's a hesitator. Now, I don't believe this stuff, diversity, equity, and inclusion. No, we're talking about 60s. We're talking about, numbers and things. It's not about the numbers. This is never about the numbers. Or you're going to be an obstructor. Those bottom 2, the hesitators and obstructors, when they go through the program, do come out with this is the right thing to do. The program is called Everybody at the Table. And here's the thing: a lot of companies, they say, "Oh yeah, we have a diversity program. We're equitable, and we include everybody." Well, it's one thing to have a seat at the table. It's another thing to have a voice. There's a lot of companies that will give minorities and women and people of different color a seat, but they won't give them a voice. And so, and that's wrong. And so we work with folks to help them overcome that. I've worked with a couple of local companies on that, and it's a fun program. The biggest way we teach that, I do a quick lunch and learn so people get an overview of the program, but it is normally a 4 to 6 hour seminar, usually with upper management first, and then depending on how far down the line they want to take it, we'll go from there. So it's a fun program.
Okay, so we got a couple more minutes left. Sales master training. Now, this is interesting. Sales masters.
So one of the things we're in a recession. I don't care what anybody says. We're in a recession. The technical definition. One of the things that most organizations do not do in a recession is continue to go out and sell. They panic buy, they sit back, they pull back, they cut down on their sales force, they cut down on everything, when in fact the number one thing you can do to fight a recession is to get out on the street, beat the streets. I have professional sales trainers and sales managers who say cold calling is dead. Cold calling is not dead. You have to cold call. And so I have a 21-day sales challenge that I'll do with any salesperson. Is relatively inexpensive, and it's guaranteed to work. If you work the program, it's guaranteed to work. If you don't, it ain't gonna work. But if you work the program and you don't get the results that we've agreed on in advance, I'll give you money back. That's how it is. I've seen it successful time and time again. And then I do some all-day seminars and webinars on sales training. But I got to tell people out there, you always have to be selling. Always have to be selling.
Right.
And most people sell like used car salesmen, okay?
Yep,
and I have
do.
some friends who are car salespeople, but that's not what it's all about. Sales is all about relationships, because people are, it's a relationship. People are going to buy from you if they can relate to you. If they can't relate to you, they're not going to buy from you. And so we help people get into that mindset. We help through some disc training and things like that. We get them, salespeople, to be able to look at their client and figure out how to relate to them on a one-to-one level. And it's not about walking into a guy's office and seeing the big fish on the wall and say, "Oh man, I see that you're a fisherman." That's so old school.
I could have bought that.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
Exactly. It looked cool.
Just to have a guy like you come in and go, "Hey, that's a really big
Right.
Do you fish?" No, I really don't.
No, I don't. Yeah, get out of my office.
I did, and I just caught you.
Just caught you. Exactly. So it's kind of fun, the sales training. It just, I have fun with it, and what's fun is to get some guys who have been around a long time, been selling a long time, been reasonably successful or very successful, and say, "Okay, guys, what can we do to change and help you grow your business?"
How can we get a hold of you?
So our website is samandritalive.com. That's the easiest way. There's a little deal there. You can go and I get the emails, or by email, and that's sam@aliveandatpeace.com, all spelled out. Or my business telephone number is 813-319-379-9008. I always get that 7 messed up in there.
Yep.
So But that's the business line, and I'll either answer it or you'll get the voicemail. So
Thank you for being
bet.
on. Hey,
Thank
we'll
you
be
so
right
much.
back with Shawn from Insight Title. Where we're actually filming from today. I'm telling you, it's a great looking place. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Doug did a great job.
Yes.
This is a beautiful facility, right? We're in Title Insights, and now I'm with Shawn, right, in Miele.
Correct.
And we always ask everybody, "Are you the owner? Are you the owner?" No, I'm not the owner. But so let's talk about who is Title Insights.
Well, Title Insights is, I apologize, a small local boutique title company here in the Tampa, West Chase area. Even though we are local to this area, we do service all of Florida. Title Insights was founded back in 2019 by Deidre Gurney. She is the founder and owner of Title Insights. And we just did the lovely ribbon cutting with the chamber last week. It was fantastic. Even though we have been in this building since last November, we hadn't had the opportunity to try to get it going and get everything done. So we were a little behind, but we were so happy we did it. It was such a great event.
I love the word boutique.
Yes.
So really, what does the title company do?
Well, what we do, we actually specialize in working with sellers and buyers throughout the closing process. So we help them each step of the way, whether it's a new buyer that's never done this before or one that's been doing it their whole life. So we specialize in working with them. We also work with investors, commercials, and new constructions. So we're very diverse in the areas that we work with.
Okay, so if I'm crazy enough to sell my own house by myself, will you work with me?
I will. We do for sale by owners. We help them through the process as well. Of course, if you need the assistance, we'll assist how we can. Of course, we're not attorneys, we're not brokers, but we can assist in many ways.
So what really sets you guys apart from other title companies? Because I know there's a ton of them out there, but you guys have got to have something a little bit better.
Well, of course, this beautiful office that you're sitting
This
in.
is gorgeous. Okay, so I love blue.
Yes.
And the whole office is blue.
Blue, yes.
And if you could see the big picture in here, you'd be like, whoa.
Very glitz and glammy
This is one
what
of those
we
kind
like.
of rooms where, like, remember Grandma said, don't go in the white room.
Exactly, or it was covered in plastic because you weren't allowed to sit in there.
Exactly.
Yes, that's how it
but
feels.
It's gorgeous. I love it.
But with us, what I think sets us apart is really the knowledge that this team holds together as one. We have specialized in many different areas, from Deidre being the owner and the knowledge that she carries, the years of experience, and then to Lori, who also just, we joke and we call her the curative queen because she can cure anything and she's very good at it. And then of course, our newest addition, Stephanie, she's been fantastic for the team. And then I not really brag about myself, but I'm here too. We just, the staff is just, to me, a cut above the rest because we work together as a team. If one person is out, doesn't drop the ball, we're able to just go right behind the systems we have in place to really just go right behind another person and pick up, and then nobody falls short. So nobody's left, hanging. And definitely if you call us, you're always going to get that answer. You're not going to get, we'll call you back, or, we have to talk about it. You get that answer. So with us, you call Title Insights, you get Title Insights, you get the knowledge that all of us hold, and then too, you don't get an answering machine.
Right.
You get to talk to one of us and really take care of the situation.
Why is it so important to have a title company?
Well, of course, you definitely want a good title company, because not only are you conveying your property, you want that free and clear title to be given to your buyers so that there are no issues afterwards, and you're not passing on the issues to your new buyer. So you definitely want to be able to pass along that free and clear title,
Right.
which you're going to get from a title company. A lot of people are used to using attorneys. Everybody
Yeah.
says, why am I using a title company? I can use an attorney.
Well, those are all from people from up north.
That is correct.
Yes.
Because in Florida, we have title companies.
Correct.
But we do a lot of out-of-state people. And they're always like, well, I've never worked with a title company before. I don't even know what you are. We represent the seller and the buyer to the fullest. I mean, we make sure that everything is free and clear before you come and sign those documents, so that we can convey that property properly. Just like an attorney would do, just not as expensive.
No, exactly. It really does. You want to protect your dirt,
You do.
because
Yes.
if you don't,
Well, there are things that attorneys do provide. Can't say that they don't provide a service, but with us, again, with everything that we know about title and how to clear title and
Right.
how to take care of those situations, from our great underwriters to the people who work in this office, there's just, I always say that I feel like we're a cut above the rest.
right, yeah, right. So why do you do what you do? That's I have a list of questions. Normally, I've never had a list before, but I'm making sure I get these in there. But why do you? I mean, there's got to be a reason that you do it.
Well, I think the reason why we all do it is because we have a passion for it. So because we have a passion for it, we want to give our clients that ultimate closing experience. Not even just from the office and the way that we decorate, but from how we perceive the closing and how we explain everything. So to us, it's a passion. I've been doing it a long time. Started out very young and found out that
you were
this
two.
Yeah, right. Really right. So since been doing it such a long time, and it's just something that you're just so, I guess say prone to do. It just comes so naturally. So for me, it's just a passion to be around people and helping them achieve their dreams. Back in the day, owning a home was the ultimate dream,
Yes.
Not, so much anymore, not like it was, but
Right.
now it's just, people are buying and selling, and, investors are flipping, and, everybody's doing their own thing, and everybody's so busy that they don't have the time, to come in and enjoy the experience,
Right.
that we can perform for them. So, but that's why I do it.
So it really is a big deal that you got to have somebody on your side, and it's got to be a great feeling every time when especially first time homeowners.
Yes.
I love watching those guys get their first set of keys.
Yes. They get so excited, and it makes you feel good. It really does. And it gives you that awe moment. You're like, wow, that's, fantastic. They're so excited. They come in, they're happy, especially the families with children. We do certain things in here to make that experience just really wow for them.
Right.
I'm not going to give it all away because we don't
No,
want
but you come
anybody to
in.
steal.
That's right.
But you got to come in so that you can see. But yeah, it's just, we want to provide that ultimate closing experience.
That's awesome.
Whether it's a new buyer or one that's been doing it their whole life. We just get that proud moment. And then of course, what they say to us afterwards just really makes you go further, makes you want to be better, and so we try to be the best that we can be.
So how do people get a hold of you?
So with us, you can always call us. Of course, our phone number is 813-336-4699, or you can get us on the web, which is www.titleinsights.com, or you can stop by this beautiful office. We're located at 13057 West Lineball Avenue, Suite 101 in Tampa, Florida.
So let's this is not on the list. Let's dispel the misnomer. Who picks the title company?
Generally, the seller will pick the title company. The seller picks title because the seller is one that's providing the title insurance policy.
Right.
So if you're going to provide the title insurance policy, then you should have the choice of who you want to go with. A lot of times their agents take control over that. So it's just depending if you have that preferred title company, you can always say, no, it's my preferred title company. And of course, that's what we strive for. We want to be that preferred title company that everyone uses. But of course, everybody's got their favorites.
Is it possible for the buyer to request a certain title company?
The buyer can request, but generally if the seller is going to pay for that owner's policy, that agent and that seller is going to take control, unless they don't have one or they've never done this before. Then they'll say, okay, well, if you have one, definitely we'll go with who you know. So, and that's, want to get the word out there of who we are so people know.
So let me ask you real quick. We only got a couple seconds here. How's it been with the chamber?
It's been great. Everybody at the chamber has been very friendly to me. I have only been with the chamber for a few months now. I started with Deidre just last year, so I've only been here a year. But since being here, I've done the chamber events. I've worked with the chamber, and so far it's been awesome.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
Doug's a good guy.
Yes.
Sean, thank you for being on. Hey, we appreciate everybody watching this week. It's been a really good show. Doug did a really good job of getting some great. This has been the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. So we will look forward to everybody watching next week on My Chamber TV. See you later.
Thank you.